I was 17 when I first crashed into the Hargrove family like a stray dog begging for scraps of normalcy. Owen Hargrove, my best friend since kindergarten, all freckles and firecracker energy, had dragged me home after a brutal day at Lincoln High, where the jocks had cornered me in the locker room again, whispering fag, like it was my middle name. Owen punched the ringleader square in the jaw before the teachers could pull him off, earning us both a week's suspension. But it was Julian, Owen's dad, who showed up at the principal's office with that quiet authority, his flannel shirt rolled to the elbows, forearms corded like he could fix the world with his bare hands. "You're both coming with me," he'd said, not a question, his blue eyes scanning us like we were blueprints for a project gone wrong. Julian was a contractor, built custom homes in the rolling hills outside Portland, Oregon, where the evergreens whispered secrets to the fog. 42 then, with salt and pepper hair cropped short and a jaw that could cut glass. He wasn't the type to coddle. But he didn't judge either. That day, he loaded us into his battered Ford F-150, cranked up Springsteen on the tape deck, and drove us to the coast. We skipped stones at Cannon Beach until our fingers pruned, and for the first time, I felt like I belonged somewhere that didn't reek of bleach and shame. Owen and I were inseparable after that. Inseparable in the way only kids with too much hurt and not enough words can be. We'd sneak beers from Julian's garage fridge, sprawl on the roof of the Hargrove house stargazing, plotting escapes to Seattle where no one knew our names. Owen dreamed of being a musician, strumming his beat-up acoustic like it could summon ghosts. I dreamed of him, mostly, his laugh that lit up the dark, the way his hand would linger on my shoulder a beat too long. But Owen was straight as the Columbia River, chasing girls at parties while I nursed crushes in silence. It was safer that way. Safer to be his shadow than risk losing the only light I had. Julian noticed, though. He always did. He'd catch me staring at Owen during family dinners, those rare nights when Mrs. Hargrove, Elena, wasn't working double shifts at the hospital, and slide an extra helping of mashed potatoes my way, murmuring, "Eat up, Elias. World's tough enough without you fading on me." Elena was the heart of the house, warm and weary, with laugh lines etched deep from raising two boys, while Julian hammered nails from dawn till dusk. She called me her bonus son, oblivious to the storm brewing under her roof. Or maybe not oblivious. Looking back, her smiles held a tightness, like she was holding her breath for the other shoe to drop. By college, Owen and I had scattered, him to Berkeley on a partial scholarship, me to community college in Portland, scraping by on barista gigs and student loans. Summers, I'd crash at the Hargroves, helping Julian on job sites. That's when it started shifting. The way he'd hand me a hammer, our fingers brushing, and hold the gaze a second longer than fatherly. The late-night talks in the kitchen over black coffee, him confessing the grind of 20 years married to a woman he loved but couldn't fully reach. "Marriage is like building a house on sand, Elias," he'd say, staring into his mug. "You pour everything in, but the tide comes anyway." I told myself it was nothing. Admiration, maybe. He was the dad I never had. Mine had bailed when I was 8, leaving mom to drown in pills and part-time jobs. But admiration doesn't make your pulse thunder when he claps your back after a long day, or turn your dreams into fevered what-ifs. I buried it deep, dated a girl from my psych class to prove I could, broke it off when the guilt choked me. Owen came home for Christmas that year, engaged to a violinist named Sarah, blonde, brilliant, everything I wasn't. The news hit like a gut punch. I congratulated him over beers, throat burning, while Julian watched from the doorway, his face unreadable. "You okay, kid?" he'd asked later, finding me chain-smoking on the back porch, the Willamette River murmuring below like it knew my secrets. "Yeah," I lied, flicking ash into the night. "Just happy for him." Julian leaned against the railing, his breath fogging in the December chill. Owens always chased the melody. Doesn't mean it's the right song. He paused, eyes on the water. "You deserve your own tune, Elias. Not echoes." That was the first crack. The first time his words felt like they were meant only for me. Fast forward 5 years. I'm 24 now, still in Portland, managing a coffee shop in the Pearl District while writing copy for local ads. Nothing groundbreaking, but it pays the rent on my shoebox apartment. Owen's married, living in Boston with Sarah and their toddler, Lily. We text sporadically, memes and milestones, the closeness faded to polite nostalgia. Elena's cancer came out of nowhere, stage 3, aggressive, and she fought like hell, but by last spring, the chemo had whittled her to a shadow. Julian nursed her through it all, sleeping on a cot by her bed, his world shrinking to hospital corridors and takeout trays. She passed in June, on a day so sunny it felt like betrayal. The funeral was a blur of casseroles and condolences, neighbors in their Sunday best murmuring about what a fighter. Owen flew in with Sarah and Lily, the baby fussing in his arms as we lowered Elena into the ground at Riverview Cemetery. Julian stood ramrod straight, hands clasped behind his back, but I saw the tremor in his jaw, the way his eyes glazed like frost on a window. Afterward, at the wake in the Hargrove living room, Elena's quilts draped over folding chairs, her favorite Sinatra crooning from the speakers. Owen pulled me aside. "Dad's a mess, man. He won't talk to anyone. You gotta check on him. You're the only one he listens to." I nodded, throat tight. Owen couldn't know, that Julian and I had been orbiting closer since Elena's diagnosis. Stolen coffees that stretched into hours, his hand on my knee during a movie night when Owen called from the East Coast. Nothing crossed the line, but the air hummed with it, electric and forbidden. "I'll be there, I promised." Owen clapped my shoulder, oblivious. "Thanks, Elias. Your family." If only he knew how badly I wanted that to be true. The night it all unraveled started ordinary enough. Owen had flown back to Boston the day after the funeral, leaving Julian rattling around that big house like a ghost. I'd been stopping by every evening, grocery runs, frozen pizzas, reruns of The Sopranos to drown out the silence. That Thursday, a nor'easter rolled in from the Pacific, dumping sheets of rain that turned the streets to rivers. I was closing the shop when my phone buzzed. Julian, voice gravelly over the line. "Storm's bad. Don't drive in this. I'll come get you." I argued. It's only 10 blocks. But he was already en route, stubborn as ever. 20 minutes later, his truck idled outside, wipers slashing at the downpour. I slid into the passenger seat, shaking water from my hair, the cab smelling of pine sawdust, and his aftershave, sandalwood, steady. "Thanks," I said, buckling up. "You didn't have to. Couldn't sleep anyway." He pulled out, headlights cutting fog like knives. We rode in that comfortable quiet we'd honed over years, radio murmuring classic rock. But tonight, his grip on the wheel was too tight, shoulders hunched like he carried the weight of the world. "You want to talk about it?" I ventured, watching rain streak the glass. He snorted, bitter. "What's to say? Elena's gone. Owen's got his life. And me? I'm just the guy who fixes what's broken." A pause, heavy. "Until I can't." The words hung, laced with something raw. I reached over, squeezed his forearm, muscle tense under flannel. "You're more than that, Julian. To all of us." Our eyes met at a stoplight, and there it was again. That pull, magnetic and terrifying. The light changed. He accelerated, but instead of veering toward my apartment, he took the old highway exit, the one winding into the Coast Range foothills. "Where?" "Detour," he muttered, voice thick. "Need to clear my head." The road narrowed, pavement giving way to gravel hush, trees closing in like conspirators. Rain lashed the truck, thunder rumbling distant threats. My heart hammered, not from the storm, but from the man beside me, unraveling thread by thread. We crested a hill, pulling into a overlook I'd never seen, the valley below a black void pricked by distant farm lights. He killed the engine, cab plunging into storm-muffled dark. "Elias," he started, then stopped, rubbing his face. "God, I shouldn't." "Shouldn't what?" My voice cracked, small. He turned, eyes shadowed. "This. Us. Whatever the hell this is becoming." The air thickened, charged. I wanted to bolt, to laugh it off, but my body betrayed me, leaning in. "Julian, No. Sharp, pained. You don't get it. I should have told you years ago. Before any of this." "Told me what?" He exhaled, ragged, like exhuming a grave. "I'm gay, Elias. Have been since I was your age, hiding it under layers of denial and duty." Elena knew. God, she knew from the start. We had an understanding, a life we built because love isn't always fireworks. It's compromise. But after her, I can't pretend anymore. The confession landed like lightning, splitting me open. Gay. Julian Hargrove, stoic, straight-laced pillar of the community, gay. Pieces clicked. The lingering touches, the wistful stories of college buddies he never named. The way he'd light up when I talked about my own quiet coming out to Mom before she died. But beneath the revelation, a chasm yawned. Owen. The family. The life he'd buried it for. Why now? I whispered, hand still on his arm, thumb tracing a vein. Because of you. His gaze pinned me, fierce. You've been under my skin since that first suspension, kid. Watching you grow into this man, brave, kind, everything I wish I'd been. But I can't drag you into my mess. Owen. Christ, if he knew. The truck door flew open on my side. Impossible in the storm. But there was Owen, drenched, face twisted in fury, Sarah's car idling 50 yards back, headlights accusatory. Dad? Elias? What the fuck is this? Owen's voice sliced through the rain like shrapnel, his eyes wild, darting from Julian to me as water streamed down his face, plastering his hair to his forehead. He must have turned back early from the airport run, some flight delay, a whim to surprise his dad with one last goodbye. Instead, he'd surprised us all, catching the tail of Julian's truck on this godforsaken detour. Son, Julian started, fumbling out of his seatbelt, but Owen was already yanking me from the cab by my jacket collar, his grip iron from years of hauling guitar cases and toddler gear. Get out. Both of you. Owen's breath hitched, a sob choking the rage. I trusted you, Elias. My best friend. And you, Dad? With him? After Mom. It's not. I stammered, feet slipping on mud, but the words died. How do you explain a truth that's half-formed, tangled in grief and longing? Julian stood frozen, hands raised like a man facing a firing squad, his face ashen under the dashboard glow spilling into the night. Owen shoved me back against the truck, not hard enough to bruise, but enough to jolt. How long? Tell me it's not. Jesus, the two of you, whispering in the kitchen, those errands while I was gone. Mom's barely cold, and you're. Enough. Julian's bark echoed off the trees, paternal thunder. He stepped between us, broad shoulders blocking Owen's view of me. This isn't what you think. Elias had nothing. Nothing? I saw your face, Dad. The way you looked at him. Like he's the goddamn son. Owen's voice broke, fists clenching. Rain mixed with tears, carving tracks down his cheeks. She deserved better than this. We all did. Sarah appeared then, Lily bundled in her arms against the wet, her face a mask of shock. Owen, honey, let's just go. We can talk at home. But Owen wasn't listening. He wheeled on me, betrayal carving him hollow. I called you family, man. Gave you everything, my home, my secrets. And you repay it by screwing my dad. The word hung, ugly and American as apple pie gone sour, raw, unfiltered, the kind of accusation that sticks like gum on your shoe. I flinched, heat rising despite the chill. Owen, it's not like that. I swear. Save it. He spat, turning away, but paused, voice dropping to a venomous whisper. Don't come near us again. Either of you. He stormed to Sarah's car, slamming the door so hard the frame rattled. Taillights flared red in the downpour, vanishing down the gravel like a bad dream. Julian slumped against the truck, head bowed, the weight of it all crashing down. Elias, he murmured, reaching for me, but I jerked back, chest heaving. What the hell was that, Julian? You dropped this bomb. On me, on him, and now? Owen thinks. I couldn't finish, the image of his face searing. My best friend, gutted because of me. Because of us, whatever we were teetering toward. I know. Julian's voice was wrecked, eyes glistening, not from rain. I panicked. Should have handled it different. But seeing you, it forced my hand. Forced? I laughed, bitter, sliding down the truck to the muddy ground. You think this is forced? Years of me pining like an idiot. You playing the hero while hiding who you are. And Elena? She knew? All this time. He sank beside me, elbows on knees, staring into the void. Married her fresh out of high school. Thought it was the fix, small-town boy, pregnant girlfriend, the whole script. But I loved her, Elias. In my way. She figured it out on our honeymoon, caught me staring at the lifeguard too long. Didn't leave. Said we could build something real anyway. For Owen. For us. The confession peeled him bare, layer by layer. The contractor's calluses hiding a boy's terror, the father's resolve masking a lifetime of what-ifs. I wanted to hate him for it, for dragging me into the fallout, but empathy twisted in my gut like a knife. America, land of the free, but not for guys like us in the 80s, not in Oregon mill towns where queer was a slur hurled from pickup beds. And now? I asked, voice small. What about now? He turned, hand finding mine in the dark, rough palm, steady grip. Now I don't know, but I can't lose you too. Not after this. We sat there till the rain eased to drizzle, thunder fading to mutters. Drove back in silence, my apartment a tomb when he dropped me off. Call me, he said, but I didn't. Not that night, not the next. The days blurred into a haze of avoidance. Owen blocked me on everything. Texts undelivered, calls straight to voicemail. Sarah's polite email arrived 2 days later. Space, Elias. For everyone's sake. Julian's crew sent him out of town on a rush job in Bend, rebuilding after a wildfire gutted a neighborhood. Perfect timing, ash and nails to bury the ache. I threw myself into work, slinging lattes with mechanical smiles, but the Pearl District buzzed oblivious. Hipsters debating craft IPAs, couples canoodling over scones. At night, I'd scroll old photos. Owen and me at prom, him with a date, me stag, Julian grilling burgers on the 4th, Elena's laugh frozen in pixels. Guilt gnawed. Was I the villain here? The homewrecker in waiting, even post-mortem? A week in, curiosity cracked me. I drove to the Hargrove house unannounced, the driveway empty, for sale sign stabbed into the lawn like a betrayal. Julian's truck was gone, but Elena's old Volvo sat under the carport. Key in the ignition as if she'd just stepped out for milk. Inside, the place echoed, furniture shrouded in sheets, air stale with absence. On the kitchen counter, a stack of letters, rubber-banded, my name scrawled in Julian's block print. I shouldn't have, but I did. The top one. Elias, if you're reading this, I blew it. Elena left these for you. Read them when you're ready. Don't hate me yet. J. Elena's handwriting looped graceful, faded ink on yellowed paper. Journals, really. Entries from over the years, addressed to no one but herself, until the last pages turned to me. March 12, 2010. Elias came over today, all gangly limbs and quiet fire. Reminds me of Julian at that age, before the world beat the dreams out of him. If things were different. But they're not. Still, I see the way Jay looks at him. Like hope. June 5, 2015. Told Jay tonight. After the chemo, when the pain's a dull roar. Let him go, I said. Find his truth. He cried, called me saint. I'm no saint, just tired of cages. Elias is good for him. Steady. If Owen can't see that someday. The final entry, dated a week before she died. Promise me, Jay, be brave. For the boy who fixed our porch swing. For the man he'll become. Love isn't a zero sum. There's enough for all of us. Tears blurred the page, hot and unbidden. She'd known, blessed it, even, from the shadows. Not betrayal, but a baton passed. My phone buzzed. Julian. At the house. Yeah. I wiped my face. Found the letters. Silence, then, come to Bend. Job site's wrapping tomorrow. We need to fix this. Together. I hesitated, Owen's face flashing, fury, fracture. But Elena's words echoed, be brave. Okay, but Owen. I'll handle Owen. One mess at a time. The drive to Bend was 4 hours of Cascade Mountains and regret, radio off, mind replaying every near miss, every stolen glance. Julian met me at the site. A skeletal McMansion on a ridge overlooking the Deschutes River, scorched earth giving way to fresh timber frames. Dust-caked and weary, he pulled me into a bare hug, flannel damp with sweat, heart thumping against mine. Missed you, he rumbled, pulling back to search my face. Thought you'd run. Almost did. I handed him the letters, folded careful. She wanted this. Us. His throat worked, eyes misting. Yeah, she did. We worked side by side that afternoon, me handing tools, him nailing joists, falling into rhythm like always, but charged now. Unspoken permission humming. Dusk painted the sky bruise purple as we packed up, his hand brushing my lower back, guiding me to the truck. Stay tonight, he said, not a question. Motel's cheap. We talk. The Bin Motel was a relic. Neon sign flickering vacancy. Rooms smelling of Lysol and loneliness. We split a pizza on the lumpy bed, beers from a cooler, the TV murmuring a Blazers game neither watched. Conversation meandered. Elena's laugh, Owen's first guitar, my mom's overdose 2 years back. Then, inevitable. What do we do about him? Julian sighed, capping his bottle. Called him this morning. Told him the truth, about me, from the beginning. He hung up. Sarah texted later. He's wrecked, but listening. Give it time. Time. The great American illusion. Thanksgiving grace. Black Friday resets. But wounds like this fester, especially when family ties knot them tight. You're worth it, I said, bold in the dim light. We both are. His smile cracked, tentative. Then he leaned in, slow, deliberate, lips brushing mine like a question. Fireworks, yes, but quiet ones. Warmth blooming, hands cupping faces, years of restraint unraveling in sighs. We didn't rush, clothes stayed on, boundaries respected, but in that kiss, I tasted freedom. His, mine, ours. Morning brought coffee and clarity. This isn't easy, he admitted, packing the truck. Small town, my crew, Owens calls. But I'm done hiding. Me too. I kissed him quick, tasting promise. Portland's waiting. For both of us. We drove back laughing at old stories, the river glittering below like absolution. But as we crested the pass, my phone lit up. Owen. Voicemail, voice raw, Elias. Dad called. I need to see you. Both of you. Home. Now. The hook in my gut twisted. Not over, then. Not by a long shot. Pulling into the Hargrove driveway felt like stepping into a minefield. For sale signs still mocking. Elena's Volvo gone. The house a hollow shell under overcast skies. Owen's hybrid sat curbside. Sarah inside with Lily. Her wave tentative through the window. Julian killed the engine, hand lingering on mine. Whatever happens, we face it square. I nodded, pulse erratic. Square. As if betrayal came in tidy angles. Owen answered on the first knock, eyes bloodshot, unshaven stubble silvering his jaw. No hug, no accusation, just a weary jerk of his head. Inside, the living room was stripped bare, Elena's quilts gone, walls echoing our footsteps. Boxes lined the hall, labeled in Julian's precise hand. Kitchen, Owen's old room. We settled on folding chairs around the coffee table, a six-pack between us like a truce flag. Sarah stayed upstairs with Lily. This was Hargrove men business, apparently. Owen cracked a beer, foam spilling like unspoken grief. I replayed it all week. The drive, your faces. Thought my world's ending. He glanced at Julian, jaw tight. Then you call, drop the bomb about. You. Always you. Hiding it for Mom, for me. Julian leaned forward, elbows on knees, contractor's poise cracking. I did it for love, son. Your mom's, yours. Thought straight would stick if I willed it hard enough. But it was a lie eating me alive. Owen's laugh was hollow, American Gothic. And Elias? When did that start? Summer jobs? Or earlier, when I was blind, thinking he was just my buddy? Not like that. I cut in, voice steady despite the quake inside. Owen, I've loved you. Like a brother. Yeah, but deeper. Confusing as hell. But Julian? That's different. New. Real. His eyes narrowed, flicking between us. Me, earnest. Julian, exposed. Real. Right. So what? You two shack up now. While I pack Mom's life into cardboard. While Lily asks why Grandpa's sad. The jab landed, guilt flaring. Owen had always been the golden boy, prom king, Berkeley grad, family man. Me? The stray, grateful for scraps. Stealing his dad felt like the ultimate theft. Julian reached across, hand hovering before settling on Owen's shoulder. Not leaving you. Ever. This house. Selling it to start fresh. Maybe a cabin upriver, closer to you in Boston summers. But Elias, he's part of that fresh. If you'll let him. Owen shrugged off the touch, standing abrupt. Let him? You think I can just flip a switch? Mom knew, you said. Blessed it. But she didn't get to see this. Her husband kissing her bonus son while her body's still warm in the ground. Son, Julian rose, voice breaking. No. Owen whirled, beer bottle shattering against the wall, glass and foam exploding like his control. You waited till she was gone. Like some coward's loophole. And you, Elias. God, I trusted you with everything. My insecurities, my dreams. You were supposed to have my back, not stab it. I stood too, chest tight. I never meant, Owen, please. This isn't about betraying you. It's about surviving. Surviving? He scoffed, pacing. In America, we survive by fighting. Marines, manifest destiny. But this feels like surrender. The room spun, his words echoing Mom's old rants about pulling yourself up, the bootstrap myth that left so many dangling. I wanted to scream. Survival for us queers was hiding, not charging hills. But anger choked empathy. His pain mirrored mine, twisted. Sarah appeared in the doorway, Lily on her hip, oblivious. Babe? Maybe a break. Owen deflated, nodding. Yeah, outside. He grabbed his keys, brushing past us without a glance. Door slammed, engine revved, gone again. Julian sank into a chair, head in hands. Botched it. No. I knelt before him, tilting his chin up, eyes red-rimmed, vulnerable. He's processing. We give him that. We spent the afternoon packing in silence, folding Elena's sweaters, taping boxes, each item a memory unearthed. Her recipe cards, yellowed, Owen's childhood drawings taped to the fridge. By evening, exhaustion settled like dust. Sarah called. Owen needed space, crashing at a motel. He's not hating you, she assured. Just untangling. We ordered Chinese, ate on the floor amid chaos. Fortune cookies cracking open like fragile hopes. Mine, a secret revealed brings new beginnings. Julian's, the heart mends in unexpected ways. He chuckled, right? Elena'd love that. She'd say, see? Even paper knows. I smiled, first real one in days. She was the best of us. Night fell soft, rain pattering windows. We claimed the master bed. Elena's side pristine, Julian's rumpled. No expectations, but when he pulled me close, spooning in the dark, it felt like home. His breath warmed my neck, hands splayed over my heart. Thank you, he whispered, for staying. Wouldn't dream otherwise. Sleep came fitful, dreams of fractured families, rain washing sins clean. Morning brought a miracle or ceasefire. Owen's text, coffee, neutral ground. 10 a.m. We met at a strip mall Starbucks in Tigard, the kind with fake ferns and overpriced muffins, America's confessional booth. Owen slid into the booth across from us, 2 sugars in his flat white, stirring mechanical. Couldn't sleep, he admitted, eyes on the cup. Talked to Sarah all night. She gets it. More than me. A beat. Mom left a letter for me too. In her jewelry box. Said she was glad Dad found his light. Even if it blinded us at first. Julian's breath hitched. I gripped his knee under the table. Owen met our eyes, tentative. Doesn't make it easy. Feels like losing another parent, the one I thought I knew. But you're still Dad. And Elias, you're still the guy who punched back when no one else would. Relief flooded, tentative. So, truce. He nodded, slow. Truce. But slow, okay? No big announcements. And Dad, therapy. For real. We all need it. Julian agreed, voice thick. Deal. We parted with handshakes, awkward, but intact. Owen hugged me last, fierce. Don't fuck this up. Promise. The weeks that followed were reconstruction, literal and not. Julian sold the house to a young couple starting over, pocketed enough for a down payment on a bungalow in Selwood, river views, and a porch for lazy Sundays. I helped paint the kitchen eggshell, our first real date. Takeout Thai, Springsteen vinyl spinning, kisses deepening without the weight of secrets. Owen flew out monthly, Lily toddling between us, her giggles a balm. Grandpa's boyfriend, she lisped once, pointing at me. Owen winced but smiled. Progress. But cracks lingered. Whispers at Julian's job site. Old school crew eyeing us sidelong. One quitting with a muttered, ain't right. Julian shrugged it off. Their loss. Deeper, though, my fear of being the rebound, the kid in a man's shoes. Nights, I'd wake sweating, convinced he'd wake up regretting. One autumn evening, high on the Selwood Bridge, watching barges glide under sodium lights, I voiced it. What if this is pity? Elena's dying wish, not yours. He turned, wind tousling his hair, grayer now distinguished. Pity. He cupped my face, thumbs tracing cheekbones. Elias, you're the Detour I never knew I needed. The truth I was ready for, even if it hurt. We kissed there, Portland's skyline twinkling approval, romantic as any Hallmark reel, but earned, scarred. Thanksgiving loomed, Owen hosting in Boston. We flew east, nerves jangling. Family dinner with Sarah's waspy relatives. Prying eyes on the business partner Julian introduced me as. But Owen's toast cut the tension. To Mom. To truths that set us free. Even the hard ones. Glasses clinked. Lily cheered. Later, in the guest room, Julian pulled me close. Worth every storm. It was. But life, American as it is, doesn't tie bows neat. Winter brought Julian's first pride flag in the yard. Subtle, but spotted. A neighbor's note. Think of the children. Owen called, raging on my behalf. Fuck 'em. We're Hargroves. We build, we don't break. Spring thawed the last ice. Owen's album dropped. Indie folk, raw tracks about loss and light. One song, Detour, whispered of fathers and friends finding roads untaken. He dedicated it to Elena. And us. By summer, the bungalow bloomed. Herbs in window boxes, my books mingling with Julian's tool manuals. We'd walk the river trail at dawn, hands linked casual, the Willamette bearing witness. No grand gestures, just quiet. Him brewing coffee strong, me tracing his laugh lines in bed. One night, fireflies dancing in the yard, Owen video called from a tour stop in Austin. Hey, lovebirds. Lily wants a lullaby from Uncle Elias. I sang off-key, Julian harmonizing bass. Owen's grin filled the screen. Hole healed. Hanging up, Julian pulled me onto the porch swing, Elena's old one, refinished. This, he murmured, arm around me, stars wheeling overhead. This is the house I always wanted. Me too, detours and all. But peace, I've learned, is fragile as eggshell on a contractor's boot. It was late August, heat wave baking Portland into submission, when the real storm hit. Not rain, but reckoning. Julian's phone rang during dinner, caller ID, law office, Hargrove Estate. He answered casual, but his face drained as the voice droned legalese. Hanging up, he stared at his plate, fork suspended. Elena's will. Theirs. A codicil. Reading next week. Owen knew. Didn't tell me. My gut twisted. Knew what? Dunno. But his tone, guarded. Like he's holding cards. Owen's texts had tapered that month. Tour prep, Lily's preschool jitters. I'd chalked it to busyness. But now suspicion slithered. The truce fracturing under unshared weight. The lawyer's office in downtown was all glass and mahogany. The kind of place that screams old money even in progressive Portland. Owen arrived with Sarah, Lily in tow, her pigtails bobbing as she colored on the floor. Hugs exchanged, stiff for me, warmer for Julian, but Owen's eyes skated away, jaw set. The attorney, a brisk woman named Ms. Patel, cleared her throat, unfolding papers. Elena Hargrove's estate is straightforward. House proceeds split evenly between Julian and Owen. Personal effects divvied per her lists. But the codicil, dated post-diagnosis, addresses contingencies. Contingencies. The word chilled, Elena's graceful script projected on a screen. If Julian finds his path post-me, ensure Owen's security. Trust fund for Lily, outright to Owen upon my passing. But, condition, Julian must disclose fully. No shadows for my boys. Ms. Patel continued. Elena stipulated a private investigation if needed, to verify Julian's disclosure. Report attached. Owen shifted, discomfort radiating. Julian's hand found mine under the table, squeezing. The report was clinical. Dates, photos. Julian and me at the coast overlook weeks after the funeral, hands linked. Coffee runs logged like crimes. My overnight at the motel in Bend. No intimacy detailed, but implication clear. Timeline damning, starting too soon after Elena's death. You son of a... Julian surged, chair scraping. You hired a PI? On us. Owen flushed, defensive. Not me. Mom did, before she. She suspected you'd wait till she was gone, then bolt. Wanted proof it was real, not grief rebound. For my sake. For Lily's inheritance. Lily's. I echoed, heat rising. This is blackmail, Owen. Elena wouldn't. She did. He slid a letter across Elena's hand. Owen, protect yourself. I've seen the looks. If it's true love, it'll withstand scrutiny. If not, you deserve the full share. Forgive me. Love, Mom. The room spun. Elena, ever the architect, building safeguards even in death. Her love a fortress, walls high against hurt. Sarah gathered Lily, murmuring apologies, but Owen stayed planted. I didn't want this read aloud. Thought it'd be private. But Dad, you jumped in fast. Pictures don't lie. Julian's laugh was shattered glass. Fast? 40 years denying myself. Losing Elena to a lie we both carried. And you think a few weeks makes it cheap? It makes it suspect. Owen's voice cracked, boyish hurt surfacing. I lost Mom. Now this. Feels like you're erasing her. No. I interjected, standing. We're honoring her. Those letters, you read them. She pushed him toward truth. Owen's eyes met mine, stormy. Truth? Or convenience? You were always there, Elias. Backup plan when the straight life crumbled. The accusation stung, echoing my deepest fear. Backup. Stray dog, indeed. Julian rose, calm thunder. Enough. The money. Keep it. All of it. I don't need Elena's ghost policing my heart. He turned to Ms. Patel. Tear it up. We're done. Outside, rain threatened again, skies bruising. Owen caught my arm in the lot. Elias, wait. Shit, this is messed up. Mom meant well, but you let it happen. I yanked free, rain spitting. You spied on us, Owen. After everything. To protect my family. His voice broke. You're part of that. Or were. The words gutted, old wounds reopening. I drove home alone. Julian needed air, blasting NPR to drown the roar in my head. America. Privacy a myth, love litigated. Julian came home late, smelling of bar and bourbon. He collapsed beside me on the couch, head in my lap. Called Owen. Told him the report changes nothing. But he's pulling back. No visits till we sort it. Grief mirrored his. Owen's absence a fresh grave. What now? Now? We live it. He pulled me down, kiss fierce. No more hiding. For anyone. The fallout rippled. Owen skipped Labor Day, sending Lily's finger paintings instead. Holidays hollowed. Thanksgiving takeout, Christmas with my aunt in Seattle, her side eyes at the roomie. Julian's crew thinned, whispers turning to cold shoulders. He hired queer kids from the community center, rebuilding crew and confidence. Winter deepened fractures. I threw a birthday party for him, small, intimate, craft beers, a cake-iced truth-teller. Friends from my writing group came, rainbow pins glinting. Owen texted mid-toast, Happy birthday, Dad. Love you. Working on us. Half a bridge. I clung to it. Climax crashed in February. Valentine's blizzard blanketing Portland in white silence. Phone rang at 2 a.m. Owen, hysterical. Elias, plane crashed. Sarah's flight from Boston. Connecting through Chicago. My blood froze. What? No. Waiting on news. Dad knows. He's coming. I dressed frantic. Julian already at the door, truck chains rattling. We sped to PDX, wipers battling flurries, radio crackling updates. Mechanical failure, 30 aboard. Fates unknown. Owen met us in baggage claim. Face ashen, Sarah's scarf clutched like a talisman. Lily with a sitter, oblivious. We huddled in plastic chairs. Hours stretching eternal. Coffee cooling untouched. Julian held Owen's hand, paternal anchor. I rubbed his back, the three of us a knot against unraveling. Dawn broke grim, sole survivor, a flight attendant. Sarah, not among them. Owen shattered, sobs racking. Julian enveloping him in arms that had built empires from splinters. The funeral was a media circus. Fiery crash, young mother lost. Reporters hounding the church steps. Owen endured. Numb, we shielded Lily. Her questions arrows. Where's Mommy? In the cemetery, snow dusting roses. Owen turned to us, eyes hollow. I get it now. Life's detours, no warnings. Mom, Sarah, gone too soon. He hugged Julian fierce, then me. Don't waste it. Please. We didn't. Spring green tentative. Owen relocated to Portland. Adjunct prof at PSU. Lily enrolling in preschool near the bungalow. Therapy sessions tri-weekly. Us three, unpacking codicils and crashes. Laughter crept back. Barbecues on the porch. Lily calling me Papa E. Owen's guitar sessions turning collaborative. By summer's end, The river ran high with salmon runs, renewal American as bald eagles wheeling. We scattered Elena and Sarah's ashes together, words whispered, fly free. That night, fireflies again, Julian and I on the swing, Owen strumming inside with Lily. Told you. Julian murmured, lips to my temple. Worth the truth. It was. Storms pass. Houses stand. Ours, built on detours, stronger for the weathering.